I used to think I missed my window. I'm building anyway. Welcome back to In the Margins. Writing and filming last week's episode was hard. Revisiting your moral failings, your lack, your missed opportunities, it's painful work. Being vulnerable about your shortcomings really forces you to look at the log in your own eye. I cried because of shame. Shame for the opportunities I let by. Shame for the ways I've let myself and my family down. Shame for my disobedience. Is there something you've been carrying shame around for years? Thing you haven't named yet? I want you to know you're not alone in that. But shame released is freedom. When you name the thing you've been too afraid to admit, even to yourself, it loses power. That darkness, that weight, that fear, it has nowhere else to go. God is so good. And it feels so freeing to finally speak about my struggles, because now I can grow without twisted roots getting in the way. This episode, I want to talk about the hidden work. One of the reasons I struggled with my blog years ago was because no one saw it, no one responded, there was no activity, and it just felt pointless. I thought it would be as easy as posting and people would find me, fall in love with me, and I would be famous. When that doesn't happen, you start to shrink. You question yourself. You start to tie your worth to vanity metrics. And this was before those things even existed. And unfortunately, I fell into that same trap with my mother's ministry. I would post and no one would respond. I had forgotten I was building for God and I let my ego get in the way. I still battle that same ego, but I keep coming back to this. Abraham, Jacob, Joseph, Moses, and even Jesus all had a hidden season before God brought them into the light. He may never bring me into the light, but I don't want to go viral anymore. I'm building this so that the women who are meant to find me, find me. I'm learning I have to put myself out there first before anyone can find me. If I stay hidden, no one will ever know me. I learned in early motherhood that hidden seasons are sacred. They are formation seasons. You struggle internally with yourself and with God over what you want versus what He wants. This is when you truly meet yourself, when you learn to untangle your desires from the world's desire, your dreams from the world's dreams, your needs from the world's dreams. When you learn to build without pressure, without stress, without expectations, when you allow yourself to make mistakes, when you allow yourself to grow and to blossom in a way that you can't when you're visible. It's when you learn to persevere and to fight for what you're called to, when you learn to be truly comfortable with who you are and who you're meant to be. When I was a young mom, I learned that the first 2 to 3 years are the hardest because you don't know if what you're doing as a mom will work. And it's the same when you form a business. You have no idea if what you're doing is working, whether your form of discipline would lead to a disciplined child, whether your form of addressing them would lead to a courteous child, if when they're teaching them the ABCs and 1, 2, 3, if they'll learn to read and to write, if what you're building towards is something or if you're just deluding yourself. Hidden work is where you meet yourself. The hidden work looks like waking up at 5 a.m. to work, filming an episode you have no idea if anyone is going to see, sending a proposal into silence, and doing it anyway. During this season, I think about Joseph in prison a lot. He probably thought he would never get out. Then he had that small moment of hope with the cupbearer. Can you imagine the disappointment, the frustration, the anger at God for still being stuck even through all that faithfulness? I have felt that many times. I still feel it. But Joseph's cross was not a mistake. Your cross is not a mistake. Your hidden season is not a mistake. It was the weight that he needed to carry so that he could carry an entire nation through abundance and famine. If he could stay steady, vigilant, and faithful in a prison cell, he could withstand the pressure in a palace. So many times we think we're ready to carry God's vision, when in reality we would crumble under the weight of it, because what he has prepared is greater than anything you could have ever imagined, greater than anything I imagined. I'm starting to see the last 10 years as a preparation season. How long the season lasts? Only God knows. All I know is I haven't been striving for long. I haven't been faithful and obedient for long. I only just started. And only God knows how long it will take me to learn the lessons I need to learn to carry the vision he has for me. I struggle sharing these words because my story feels so ordinary. I'm learning that ordinary is not the opposite of meaningful. Ordinary, offered faithfully, might just be what someone else needs to hear. If this is for you, I'd love for you to join me. I'll see you next week in the margins.